There are conversations that shape how we live. Conversations that help us navigate challenges of life. Conversations that bring out the best in us. This is where we gather to help each other find the way and unleash our potential. Welcome to the Benjamin Zulu Blog.
Psychologist, relationship coach, the one, the only
Benjamin Zulu.
Benjamin Zulu himself.
Now, today we are uncovering truths, realities, some surprises along the way with the topic that we have today. We are looking at what men really want from their women. You know, it is a topic that most people will not really understand. What do men really want? We have so many things that we can tell they want, but there are those specific things that I know as a coach and as a man, you really understand better than us.
Yes, and we are talking about a real man who is honest.
Yeah.
And the first thing these men want is social stability. Men reach a point when the next thing they need in order for their ship to stabilize in the sea,
Yeah.
for them to have a smooth sail, they need a woman who is stable, who can bring stability. This is because gentlemen tend to be busy with bigger dreams. Men who are on a journey of life, who are trying to build, are thinking big visions, trying big dreams. And if you move around looking at businesses and the way the world is conducted, you'll notice that gentlemen are usually exploited because many times they don't have time for small details.
Yeah.
They may not insist on paperwork. Maybe after they purchase something, they're on the go. They're on their way. Sometimes they even order things from the car. They just online, it's delivered, and
it's fast.
A lot of times, those little things, he may not have a lot of time for them. And he tends to trust the ones who supply. And he can be conned for many years. They really exploit gentlemen because gentlemen tend to believe you and you should do your part well.
Yeah.
You know,
Especially the good ones expect other people to be good.
yes.
Yeah.
And this is a problem. We do not usually have that space to sit in nitty-gritty and go through the details. Particularly if it's something that is not a humongous investment.
Yeah.
If it's routine purchases, shoppings here and there,
Yes.
one can shop for years and never look at the supermarket receipt. You know,
Yeah.
there is loyalty points down there. The wife will check, will have time to check how the points are coming,
Yeah.
because somebody else can just do something queer.
Yeah.
So there's something a man needs apart from not just the business and how he conducts affairs. There's another part of his life that is very open gates. When he's single and he's resourceful, the world perceives him to be a resource they can take advantage of. So they'll be borrowing money, explaining their needs, borrowing his time, people be coming for listening, for advice, for expertise, for plugging on this, advise my child, come here, invest this in your time here, help us. You can find that a gentleman, even when he means well and is trying to be keen, just because he's resourceful and he's not married, he has a lot of competing demands and people taking advantage of his life and his time, the more resourceful he becomes, the more conflict of interest he attracts.
Yes.
And when you're single, you don't have a lot of energy to say no to your brothers and sisters. You don't have a lot of energy to limit access to your parents. You don't have a lot of grounds to even limit cousin wants to pass by your place. If the other one who comes, it's your house is everybody's. Your life is everybody's.
Yes.
And there's nobody there. What's wrong? I'll just pass by. And then you may find yourself a well-meaning gentleman, young man who's having a lot of Heathrow Airport, a kind of activity in your life.
Yes.
People know you're working, you're well good-hearted, and they keep praising you, your role model, your example here, example there.
Yeah.
But they're only using all that to massage you so that they can access your life for free. People can get to a place where they do not, you can lose direction as a young man. You can reach a place where your growth has been mark-timed. And you did not foresee it just because you are alone.
Yeah.
You're busy growing. You're busy with the bigger projects. You're busy with the good things. But if there's nobody to organize that department of your life, a gentleman who is reflective will begin to sense a need for a helper. That's when a helper will meet an appropriate helper to plug into that space of protective protecting your space, organizing, becoming a form of loss prevention officer.
Okay.
That's what a good wife is.
Yeah.
She makes the home safe, secure from the outside world. She makes your life protected. If at all you marry right, you're marrying a partner, not a subject.
Yeah.
Because some people are marrying a subject they can control. People are marrying a person they could manipulate and order around like a puppet.
Yes.
People didn't want to marry a soulmate. They just wanted to marry a thing they could manipulate around. Those are not mature men. Mature men want a person who comes to organize, particularly their social life. And also, a gentleman has a lot of needs he may not have time to meet, like just regular meals.
Yeah.
Making regular meals is very difficult for a man.
True.
He just 3 meals a day, very hard.
Yes.
Because he doesn't have that time. So he ends up outsourcing a lot of his meals. Either somebody comes home to prepare meals for him, or he has to depend on restaurants here and there,
Yeah.
which are very undependable because they're not here for you, they're here for business. So they're not always there.
Yes.
They're not always there, you know.
Yes.
And quality food for a bachelor is very hard to come by. You may take for granted a quality dish, a well-done meal, clean, simple meal. Many of these restaurants or whatever fast foods, they can't give you a simple meal. Try to go to your local cafe, whether the supermarket cafe, whatever, and ask for a simple meal. The one you take for granted from your home.
Yes.
Then they have put 20 spices to cover up how empty
Yes.
and not fresh
Yeah.
the ingredients are. And so a lot of young men have to deal with a lot of infections, stomach upsets, and a lot of nonsense, and there's no steadiness in the provision of meals at home.
Yeah.
Doing their laundry has to be outsourced, and you know, a well-meaning, hard-working young man comes home tired. He leaves very early. He has a lot of projects, he has a lot of livings, and because he makes money, he uses the money then to compensate for the things he cannot do. But imagine when you are single, not married, how many of those competing needs require outsourcing. So he's exposed. People can steal from him. These young men buy plates, buy utensils, buy cooking oil. Those things disappear. He doesn't know where they went, how they got used up. Somebody knows. This young man has no track of things.
Yeah.
So the people he brings there to help, they also help themselves.
Yeah.
So there's that frustration, even when he means, and money can disappear from his pockets. He thinks there was some money here. He can't trace when lastly. Some clothes even vanish.
Yeah.
He can't remember which trouser. This trouser. Where did it go? That is very hard for a sincere man to keep track of, even when he means well. That men are meant to really focus on one thing at a time. And that doesn't work well when he has to manage many. A home has a lot of, even his life becomes 100 running things now. 100 running things.
Yeah.
And when he has to focus on one at a time, the others will fall off. People can notice he leaves early, comes late. Very patternistic. Most men's lives are very routine because they need to deliver. They create routines to make sure they show up consistently. So that consistency also means they have a routine, predictable pattern of life. Most women are not like that. They'll pop here, pop there, pop here, pop there. Even when they have a regular job.
Yes.
They'll pop where you do not expect them.
They'll manage all of them.
You know?
Yes.
And they can find a way to have a presence there, CCTV there, a phone call there, you know?
Yeah.
Just by that nature of managing a lot of things, a lot of women can do more in terms of managing many competing parallel things.
Yes.
When a young man gets ready to marry, he realizes there's a need for that because there are many leakages, there are many places being taken advantage of, there are many places that are open. People borrow money and they keep quiet and he forgets about them.
Yeah.
It's very hard for a young man to remember to keep a list of where his small monies are.
Yes.
Small monies are.
Especially if it's small money.
Exactly.
Yes.
And what he calls more is cumulative.
It's 1,000, 2,000.
It accumulates.
Yeah.
It accumulates.
Yes.
It's people make it a habit, you know. So, and I think we, the gentlemen, form the best customers out there because we don't have the time, even when the cloth is a little bit off, to return it. For that guy to carry that cloth and return it and get it exchanged,
It's work.
it will sit there
Yes.
forever.
Yes.
So the salesman know once this guy leaves, he may never get even the time to come back with
Yeah.
That is one problem. You may find a guy carrying something in his car, intending to take it somewhere, and it will remain in that car for a week. He will not remember, because he is short of time.
Yes.
Short of time. And when he focuses on the next target, the next job, and he's a dedicated guy, passionate about his work, committed, present, on the go.
Yeah.
That kind of a man is also very vulnerable from the side. Very focused to the forward, but very open from the sides. Because he's not seeing people's motives. He takes very long to realize that was a con game.
Oh.
He was sold substandard things. He doesn't like, because there's no time. People deliver the wrong stuff.
Yeah.
Defective stuff. It reaches a point where a young man can't go on like that. It reaches a point that a growing young man requires now. He is prepared to be a husband, he is prepared to build a home, but it reaches a point now he cannot move past that. Ask those who built before they got married. How many swindles games they had to play with masons, contractors, whoever.
Yeah.
Just those artisans you have to work with. And because you are not there to watch, you don't have your own person.
Yes.
Cement grows wings. Materials disappear.
They fly away.
You know.
Yes.
It's very frustrating. And many times because you come to know the story from you later. When you see your friends using less materials for the same thing you did,
Yeah.
you don't even realize the theft happened until it has happened and done and dusted. You come to realize you spent 3 times on a face that your friend
Yes.
has done the same very cheaply. It was so smoothly done. You were stolen from so smoothly. You did not even realize it.
Yeah.
Because you're busy working hard and you're believing that the figures they're sending you, they're telling you, check what's up, you find the list there, pay, there's a pay bill, you pay, the work is going on, work is going on, you don't suspect anything. You come to trust your own relatives thinking because you're relatives. You bring them over, you do this, you know. So the one reason I'm a true gentleman who's growing marries, it reaches a point that his life requires help. Requires help, and he can sense the need for the help, and he can sense that apart from the traditional marry somebody to clean your clothes, marry somebody to cook for you, those are only the beginnings of his needs. The greater needs are for the way his life is becoming a multifaceted entity, and when he is alone, he keeps falling short, forgetting things getting out of, you remember them but you don't have time for them. 90% of the man's energy is going to work. 90% of his time is busy with work. When bachelors become competent and also spinsters, we said one problem is companies occupy your time throughout.
Yeah.
When they say working from home, now they removed away our privacy.
Yes.
So you carry work home. So it's no longer working from home, it's working at work and at home.
Yes.
It's both now.
Yeah.
You have your laptop at home, you have work demands there. Nobody's paying overtime, but your projects are you need to complete.
Yeah.
So these young men hardly have regular self-care. There's no self-care. He showers the last minute before he dashes to bed, when he's zero energy, when he can only crawl and bite whatever is in sight and sleep and wake up with the computer finishing to process whatever you had commanded to process and jumps out back to work while trying to grab coffee to keep alert. Yes, it brings money, he's winning targets, he's hitting goals, but at what expense of his personal life? Because when there's a wife, when you have a wife, she can watch how your schedule is going.
Yeah.
That you not have time for yourself.
True.
Also, the very fact that you need time for us slows you down. When you don't have us, it's only you. You don't slow down.
Yes.
You may not slow down, and then you are being given more incentives. Now they start sending you all over. Go to Uganda, represent this. Bachelors who are competent. Young people are usually very incompetent. Older people are competent, but they're very busy with family. So the middle person who is not incompetent and not have family, they're the hot cake for all companies.
True.
They know everything the company needs to do, and they don't have a family to run home by 5. They don't have a child to pick from school. The rest of these people, you can't tell them anything. They have a child to pick, they have family to cook for, they need to be home by this, that. So many of the staff, you can't burden them.
Yeah.
Their time is very strict. The school bus. So, sorry, please. I would wish to help, but I can't. This other young man does not have anybody to pick from anywhere.
And they know it.
They just have their Subaru. Just their loud Subaru there. And people know you're free.
Yeah.
You're just your backpack. And they know you're one of the... And the boss can go, oh, imagine you have this... Let me send you the tickets. There's even overtime there. Per diem. You're given incentives.
Yes.
Off you go to Kampala. Off you go to South Africa.
True.
Off you go... you know? So you're all over. You're all over. The one thing the man needs to marry is because he knows the rate. Many of them are not reflective. They don't even have time to think. They may hear this when they are driving along the road. This truth we are telling them.
Yes.
It may sneak to them because they happen to be playing it in their car
Yeah.
while still running after the duties. The duties pay. You see, there's money there. And there's adventure. There's exposure.
Yes.
There's networking. Oh, good languages, okay? Good language. You network, exposure. Build your CV, get to see new cities. I mean, who do you want to go to Lagos? I mean, just a few days. Just, expenses paid.
Yeah.
In 5-star.
You'll definitely take it.
You know. And this is one danger, Sylvia. If you taste the pleasures what that world gives you from being mature but single, you may get addicted and never marry.
Yeah, true.
Mature single people are few in society, and they are hot cake. They are competent. Remember that.
Yes.
Most young people are incompetent. You can't trust them with duties, okay?
Yeah.
They can't represent the company for a multi-million meeting. You can't send them, they'll blunder.
Yes.
They're naive. So young people are usually many times useless. Really, just when they're bad. Just bad inside. You have to put somebody over there to watch over them.
Yeah.
They can't even report to you directly.
Yes.
You don't know anything. I don't stay and Alex. I told you anything, ask Alex. Don't come to me.
Yes.
You really have to put them under people to manage their childishness. It takes about 3 years before you can trust a project without screwing up and coming back with crises and explanations. So the typical young person is not useful. Okay? They need to be managed. They risk. They keep breaking things. Somebody breaks microwave. This microwave has been working here, and now you bring some new idiot here. What are you fighting the microwave?
Within no time, it's done. It's broken.
You know, the computer is not what did you do with the computer? You know,
Yeah.
so a lot of times young people are not useful.
Yeah.
You will have to grow them, and it's frustrating. So companies don't depend on young people. You bear with them. They do the menial lifting
Yes.
with a lot of management.
Yeah.
You get.
You literally have to put in mind that you're helping them.
And then you have to send them where it requires feet to run, not brain to think. So run to this, deliver this, do this. That's why they're helpful. So you grow them slowly, and it's a headache for managers.
Yes.
So when a young person is still young, just fresh graduate, intern, that's not who we are talking about. It's when they know everything and they can do the work perfectly.
Yeah.
And they are not yet married, because usually by the time they mature that way, they usually marry. So it's when they mature in the duties, they can perform everything and they're not married. That is the risky part for you as a person. The companies become very happy. They have a very dependable person who is also very light of foot, because they can call you 11 a.m. You catch the flight tomorrow 6.
Yes.
That's not how you call
You
a
have nothing
person.
else time.
A family person, don't ambush them like that. But it's better. Imagine a meeting was said, we are okay, everything, check your email. So everything plus money and your account.
Yeah.
You know. And the manager is sorted.
Yes.
They know they have said they're a very reliable person. That's one reason people reach 30. This kind of maturity arrives most people when they're arriving 30. That's also the time they need to be settling down. But what is the word inviting them? So enticing them in a lot of freedom and exposure. So that young man may build a house. He may build a house now and he has a car. Those are usually spaces. Remember, for a young person, what matters is space.
Yeah.
You are seeing car with 4 wheels. From today, remember, for a young man is about space. A space for him alone is so potent for good things and bad things.
Yeah.
Don't tell the world. This one is speaking harsh to you. But in the bachelor world,
Yes.
any space that is private and supervised is potent for good and bad things. Previously, you thought when you go around clubs, it's the hotels where people do mischievous things. You see those cars parked there? They only need space.
There's a lot.
So when there's a car and there's a house, even women will bring themselves.
Yeah.
They will bring themselves. Do you mind catch me a lift? And they don't call you Benjamin. No, that's too official. Benja, can I catch a lift? Bachelors are everybody's. Anybody can be flirtatious around them.
Yeah.
There's no rules.
No rules. And no one watching over them. Yeah.
So it can be addictive.
For the man.
Yeah. But a lot of guys are just like that, so easy with you.
Yeah.
Because you can tip them at the very least. Or you can give them a free lift for you. What's a lift for a gentleman? There's a company trip to Nakuru.
Yeah.
It's your car full. Who do you want to carry a pretty lady?
Yeah.
Amen. So she has gotten a free lift. She has enjoyed. And you thought, oh my, can you drive together? Oh, and then all the way to Nakuru and back. Somebody has saved themselves a little headache. And the gentleman doesn't think big about it. But that becomes a pattern. If a young man doesn't think about his life in the long term, that phase of freedom with space, because earlier he did not have space, he did not have money, he did not have freedom in life, he did not have recognition. If he doesn't think about the end goal, this is very addictive and you can lose yourself. That freedom becomes very addictive.
True.
Because it's like anything goes, anyone goes.
Yeah.
So get into flirt with women here, entertain this one there, talk with whoever, move wherever. It can become your lifestyle. So when a mature man who's reasoning, who's thinking about life, remembers that he has a journey to go. The Robert Frost, that the forest is deep and inviting, but I have places to go and promises to keep before I sleep. If he remembers that he has places to go and promises to keep before he sleeps, he will not allow himself to be hypnotized by that sense of freedom. If you've been asking why those who marry older tend to divorce more, this is the reason.
Oh, okay.
There's an age beyond which you're so set in your ways, you flirt with everyone, you've forgotten that it's flirting.
It becomes normal.
It looks normal. Entertain people, and when you say older, you mean you have stayed so long, like for 10 years, when you're just in the world.
With freedom, money, space.
To lose that is almost impossible.
Yeah.
Or you have created deep. You can create deep entanglements that are very hard to get out of.
Yeah.
You can create things. Then to get out of them, you may need to migrate from that country. I mean, or from that city. You really need to go very far away.
Yes.
That's one reason, so that they can be socially organized. They want a lady who's settled to come and settle them socially and organize their life. They want a lady who will now bring order to their life. The second reason they really want from a woman, and I hope you think about it more, is that they want a lady who will allow them to grow financially. Men earn, but just because they're earning does not mean they are moving or growing. Men gather, but when there's no woman, they also scatter. When a man is a gatherer, all around him is surrounded by scatterers.
Okay, yeah.
He is a hunter, then eaters follow him. Be careful.
Yes.
Careful. When a man does not have anything, anybody to remind him to budget, when a good marriage is working, it keeps you on track because you are regularly discussing what you are about.
Yes.
You are regularly talking what you are focusing on. You no longer have hanging cash. You see a bachelor's home, there's some money on the table, another one there, another one in the car, there's one remaining in the phone. You forgot that bank balance.
The blazers, the trousers. All pockets have something. Yeah.
It's very easy for well-meaning gentlemen to have financial leakages here and there, to forget this, forget that, forget this, forget that. He's focusing on bigger things, and he's busy making the money. or it can just sit in the account and it's just there. He never has the time to hunt for opportunities. So what he wants is a woman who help him grow financially. Nowadays, many women want to marry a man who has money to eat it, but a gentleman wants a woman who come to grow it.
Yeah.
They grow it together. They organize it. They channel it to growth. They channel it to development. They organize it in a different way. A gentleman looks for a woman who is growth-minded. This is what women are missing. I want you to go and make a list of the man you would want. A man who is an earner, who knows how to make money,
Yeah.
who is driven, who is energetic, who is enthusiastic about life. A man who is responsible, who is a giver, who is generous. After you finish listening that, become that. Become what that man wants.
Yes.
And you will realize this man who is an earner, who goes out to make money, also wants a woman who knows how to organize him, knows how to, you can make money with her, you can start businesses together. He wants a compliment of him. He doesn't want an eater. I don't know who lied to women. Stop looking for feeder, somebody to feed you, thinking they're just looking for an eater. No. For your information, a man who's on the move will be surrounded by women who want to eat. So you will not be unique. If you're just here to ask for money for salon, for rent, you're just joining the queue.
Yeah.
And the vibe feels so ordinary. He says, this is too ordinary. It's that woman who has a standard of her own. She can manage her bills. She wants to know, can we reason on a higher level? Can we build together?
Yes.
Do we have financial discipline? Can we dedicate a goal and we channel our money to that goal? Let me remind you, Sylvia, as I close this point, that many of your life-changing goals will be long coming. In theory, because you're two of you should slay your goals quickly. In theory, okay?
Yeah. Yes.
You should just, we want to build a home. Papa, 1 year, 2 years. Open the house, open it. In theory. In reality, my friend, many of the goals will be targeting them. You targeted them in January. By April, you have outgrown them. They even look ridiculous.
Yeah.
What is this we are targeting? It looks funny already. I thought we can start with that small car. Now, looking at it, it won't work.
Yes.
You are budgeting with your small money because you don't have money, but you are growing. And every time you want to buy something small, you have to grow it.
Yeah.
Some things you don't even end up using them. You buy the clothes, you wear it once, it looks ridiculous next time.
Yes.
You know you can do low budget things.
Yes.
You buy the low budget thing.
You look at it and wonder.
So now you have a lot of white projects, white elephant projects there because of your low self-esteem. You keep underestimating yourself.
Yes.
When you come together as a couple, another dynamic sets in. Because now you have a family to protect, a family to safeguard. Now you start setting your goals and thinking because you're together you should slay them quickly. I wanted to bring you to the reality. When you actually accept your path in life, you realize most of your goals take a stretch, take a patience, take everything we have. This is why the man knows he can't do it alone. This is what they don't tell people because it's not pleasant to say.
Yeah.
But the real goals that change life, the man can't do it alone. They require two hands. They require brilliant minds. They require patience. They require a treasurer who is strict, who doesn't compromise, however the times are, who is keen to the coin. This is the part that a man will struggle to do. When the project, we have saved up 5 million and somebody is here borrowing 3,000 because we have no food, the man may go to the 5 million and take 3,000.
Yes.
It looks more. But the woman knows that man, I don't have the money. It's not there anymore. It's not available. It's not even in our mind. And you will need money for fuel. You will go to M-Shwari. You will borrow so you can repay, and she won't touch the project money. You will need a treasurer. Yeah. So we are not saying when a man is not married, he cannot develop. We're just saying family projects and things that change destiny and change life many times require so much collaboration, so much patience and waiting, that this man sometimes knows it's until I get my soulmate we'll be able to work it together. Everything that all the money the man is making is usually just seed capital. Only that when he's alone, it looks like he has a lot of money because it's hanging around.
Yes.
When he gets married, the money dries up because it has been channeled. It has been channeled to development. Now you can see him pulling off moves. You're wondering, that's big.
Yeah.
When the two minds are united, It may take them 5 years, sometimes even 7 years, but when they finally pull the beach home, when you finally see what they are built together, when you finally see the investment and the shares they have in company, when you see their portfolio after 10 years, after 20 years, you can only be amazed. And when you see what they have used to build it, you know it has taken unity and patience. Yes.
Wow. One thing that I've noted about this is that this is a man to be admired.
Yes.
Only when he has the discipline
Exactly.
and not falling into those addictions.
Yes.
How do we become this man? Now, there's something that is so exciting that I want to talk about today, because I know most people will admire being that man. That is, the men will admire being that man, and the women will definitely fall for this man. Now, the one with discipline. When we were starting the show, I said I'm super excited today because there's something new in the blog, and I want to introduce it to you people because definitely it's exciting. Now, we have something so new here, and that is the Young Visionary. It's the first time that we are introducing this in the show, and trust you me, I'm super excited because I know what this book carries. And when you hear Benjamin Zulu talking about all these things, he knows a lot of it because he has done so much research. And the Young Visionary is a masterpiece for every pre-25. Again, you're so passionate about these people.
Yes.
Because what I know about Benjamin Zulu is that he has no room for shattered dreams. He has no room for mistakes. He has no room for young people making mistakes that probably others made, and there's no one correcting them. And he's standing in the gap. Now, I want to read something very small about the book. It says, the one regret that many adults walk around with is, if only I knew then what I know now, my life would be very different. And trust you me, I'm not different from this person that we are describing here. If only I knew what I know now, my life would be so far different. Now, this book is aimed at saving young people from such life-altering gaps in knowledge. Youth is such a fertile season in that what you sow there tends to grow with you, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. This book is a collection of tips and tricks from Benjamin Zulu's over 15 years of experience to help every young person plant the right things. Trust you me, Benjamin Zulu has the young people at heart. And I don't know, let me engage you on this one, yeah?
Yes.
Probably you can tell us what really inspired you to coming up with this book, because I know we have another book for the pre-25s, that is Dreams Before Dating.
Yes.
And now this one, I believe it has something totally different and amazing and more insights. So what really inspired you to giving us another one?
The Young Visionary is it's a combination of what I came to discover was the key to planning your life right. To envision your life while you still have time.
Yeah.
Somebody said the tragedy of life is that we grow old too soon and wise too late. We learn to be wise too late when we've already grown old. This is the head start to give the young person a map to how to envision their lives.
Yeah.
Many times we think the degree we are taking will take care of our career. We think the people we're hanging out will take care of our social life.
Yes.
We are covered. Without realizing that there's the vision in our minds, what we create there,
Yeah.
that will create our lives.
Yes.
So this is to help young people, particularly under 25, to dream early. Many of them are not emphasized. You know, all the examinations were about memory, remembering what the teacher said. Nobody emphasized picturing your life tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's that picture that becomes a prophecy of what shall come to pass in your life. So this is to tell them how to draw in a caricature and put details on a canvas, to put details to what they would like, because that picture becomes what dictates how they walk. It's not the economy, it's not the whether jobs are there, it's not what is going on, it's not what is popular in the culture, it is what is in your mind. It is what you dream of, it is what you rise by. And because many of us don't have that image, we are carried by the trends.
Yeah.
We are carried by what people are doing. So you hear Gen Zs are doing this, you follow the Gen Zs. You hear that people, TikTokers are doing this, you follow the TikTokers.
Yeah.
Because people don't have an image, a compelling vision. It's when you have a compelling vision that becomes your life. That's what this book is trying to tell you.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, that is amazing. I can't wait to finish reading this book. And I know the young people out there are going to benefit a lot when they read this book. Now, what I love about this book is that first time I got this book, I went through the table of content, and trust you me, everything that you've listed here is just so inviting, because we are talking about people's destinations, shattered dreams. We are talking about how to find out your calling, and there's a topic that you've written about. These are your days, make them count. Trust you me, this is a book that you don't want to miss. You can find it on www.benjaminzuluglobal.com. Please run there and grab a copy. Another thing about today, because I say today is an interesting day, is that we have a conference coming. That is a singles Valentine's dinner. Oh my goodness, this one you don't want to miss. And this one, Benjamin Zulu is going to be the speaker there. Benjamin Zulu is hosting this conference. Please make sure you are there. Our theme is definitely gonna be red, and we'll be having free drinks. The ticket is 4,000 and virtual 3,000. Make sure you are there, because you don't want to miss this. It's going to be fire. See you there.
There are conversations that shape how we live, conversations that help us navigate challenges of life, conversations that bring out the best in us. This is where we gather to help each other find the way and unleash our potential. Welcome to the Benjamin Zulu.